once I reincorporated animal products, there was a depression that lifted. And the truth is, I see the same depression in other vegans that was in me.
Right. My name is Julie Adenuga. I love social media and I hate social media. I've become fascinated by cancel culture, the new blood sport of people getting viciously dragged online. Most of the time they've done something shitty, but is this the answer? Or has social media become toxic and destructive? This is I Got Cancelled, a series where I speak to people who have been publicly shamed online, often judged, juried and sentenced by the court of Twitter.
The first night after I had that salmon, I had a wet dream.
Very fake, very pretentious, massive social climber.
So yeah, I'm sure you've been on the other side of it, seeing people being torn down by social media, seeing people being insulted, being cancelled by social media.
Yeah.
What are your views now you're on the other side of that?
I mean, it is tough when you wake up and you read a message on your Instagram, people calling you a fraud and say you never cared and you just did it for money and stuff like that. You want to explain to every individual person, you're like, if they just understood, if I just explained my story to them and to them and to them, you can waste your time. Like, people just can't be reasoned with at that point because they've got this belief in their head. They've decided
And that's what
your motives, what you've done, and that's it.
So there's a tweet here that someone said, fuck so-called self-love that comes at the expense of other species. If you decide not to be vegan anymore, fine, but once you use your platform that was built on the ethics to normalize going back on them, fuck you, Tim Shieff, you're lying to yourself. Do you feel like you built your platform on the ethics of veganism? And do you understand why people can think that's the case?
Yeah, I just spoke my truth and then a lot of people agreed with it and therefore my platform was built. Their only relation to me was that we agreed on something at one point and now we don't agree on something, so they want to defend their beliefs, and I understand why they would do that.
Did you feel like you were sort of saying, all right, you know, I'm fair game because I've been in the public for this long talking about being vegan. If I'm now not going to be vegan, it's okay for you to attack me or have an opinion about what I'm doing in my lifestyle?
I certainly accepted and knew that I would be attacked. I don't think I would have attacked someone the way people have come at me, but I get why they're so emotional and why they're upset.
Another one says, you starve your body for 35 days and then complain about how you feel deficient. I think you've opened your mind up so much that your brain has fallen out.
LOL. I was deficient before the fast. Why would I try things outside the box if I felt fine?
These comments get really mad.
Do they?
Yeah. You were one of the people that influenced me to become vegan. I cannot fathom how someone can go back on eating animals after knowing what it involves. What an enormous disappointment.
Animals were dying for my choices, whether I was eating them or not. There is suffering in life. Our choice to live as a human causes destruction. There's suffering. There's no choice, right? I didn't eat for 35 days, Julie. What's more ethical than doing nothing? That is just sitting there and causing no destruction until you're sure of the next move. Now, I didn't see it as a necessity to eat animals. I was in denial until I was forced to see it.
Another tweet that I've seen is, I was planning on making a video response to Tim Shieff, but now I decided not to. Tim is a moron who drinks his own piss and thinks the earth is flat. If he thinks eating meat will make him healthy and strong, then maybe he'd be interested in fighting me in a cage to prove it. This is where it got into almost just character assassination, innit?
But meat did make me healthy. Why am I healthier now when I've eaten meat? It's clearly not as unhealthy as I was saying.
So you were vegan for how long?
I was vegan for 6 years.
6 years. So in that time, you grew into, there's like names. So you grew into like a vegan prince.
Yeah.
Which is, makes me smile. You were a very big and strong pillar in the community of veganism and an advocate for vegan diet and vegan I guess, a vegan lifestyle, full stop.
Absolutely, yeah.
You were part of and owned a company that produced vegan clothing.
Clothing company aimed at vegans, yeah.
Yeah.
Ethics.
You're an athlete in general, I guess, and have always competed.
That's my number one passion.
As a vegan athlete.
Yeah.
And so for a lot of people, whether they were vegan or not, they knew you as this person. So talk about what it means now for you to wake up in the morning, leave the house, and you're not that guy. Like, how bad is it?
Yeah.
Is it just online? Are there people in the street that approach you? Do you get like dirty stares on the street? Like, how bad is it?
Waking up and seeing messages calling you a fraud, saying that you never cared about animals, saying that you only cared about popularity and money and stuff like that. Because I really do care about Earth, humans. I do care about animals, regardless of what people think. I just can't ignore experiences life has led me to believe, and that's all I'm doing, and I've been led this way. And those experiences just so happen to challenge my own beliefs, but then challenge other people's beliefs around me. And I've built up a whole world within veganism.
Yeah.
All of my best friends, my business, my relationships, I'm this guy, my livelihood, my following. It's the last thing I wanted to believe that was my problem.
Yeah.
And yet I could not deny the health that I felt when I reincorporated animal products into my diet. And I was like, fucking hell.
It's like a sick joke. I've built this whole community.
Exactly. Yeah.
I've gone in like my whole self into what I believe.
Yeah.
And then my body says, I don't think it's right.
You can't force beliefs onto your body. I was going around saying everyone needs healing because I needed healing and projecting that onto people. And once I reincorporated animal products, there was a depression that lifted. I can stand and I can deal with 10,000 man hating on me because I got my health back, and that's more important to me than what 10,000 people think of me. And the truth is, I see the same depression in other vegans that was in me.
So I guess the difference between your story and many others is that you took the step to give this news to the people. It was very much you saying, guys, I want to tell you something, and this is what's happening. Like, what was that experience for you?
I actually went to Hampstead Heath and just watched the sunset and chilled, and I was like, it might be popping off
online. So this is the videos online.
So I'd put the video online.
You've gone to Hampstead Heath.
Yeah.
Just sat there.
And just watched the sunset and thought, it might be popping off online, but I'm all right. I'm chilling, watching the sunset.
This is like your final moment of peace.
Yeah. I knew it would be a bit peak after that for a few days, weeks, whatever. The only thing was with my clothing company, Ethics, the others that remain with the company are vegan, and they want the company to remain for vegans. So I just let them know that I wanted to put this video out, and they said, hold on a minute, let's just make sure we're all sort of... So I gave them a few more days, and then when we were all ready, I put my video out and parted ways and said my piece. And I never checked the YouTube comments on that video alone, but I saw the like ratio or the dislike ratio of like 3-to-1 and like 4,000 comments.
What were some of the things that you read or saw, I don't know, that people said to you?
People saying that I did it for the money. People don't realise I had a following before veganism. I was a parkour athlete. Most of my subscribers on YouTube were from that. When I became vegan and became outspoken, sort of outcast myself from that previous community because of my beliefs.
So after you put this video online, there was a community of people who wanted to understand why you were feeling this way. They were like, you know, we've watched these videos, we've seen you on urine therapy, we've seen you do your 35-day fast, you know, we know about the different diets that you've tried within veganism. Maybe those are the things that have affected you, and maybe those are the things that have maybe declined the way you feel physically and mentally.
That's actually the hardest part, I think, for me. If I felt fine, I wouldn't have tried those things.
So they came after you started
Why would I drink my piss, Julie? If I felt fine, do you really think I'd do that? But, oh yeah, just for fun. It's making me worse. But, like, how basic is it?
Here on camera.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this, Timothy.
Veganism and this is a massive one, and it breaks a lot of barriers in yourself. I was suffering on the vegan diet, so I tried things to make it work.
Right.
And some of those things actually helped me remain vegan for longer, like urine therapy.
It's at this bit,
Yeah.
I'm going to interject.
Yeah.
Why didn't you just go to, at this stage, a doctor, a nutritionist? After doing that urine therapy and still not feeling yourself and still feeling like you're not in a good space, before fasting, which is, for a lot of people, the extreme, was there anything where you thought, let me just get some science?
I really believe I've got every answer I need inside
Right.
to solve it. and a man in an office with a white coat and a paper, I mean, a doctor would have told me maybe you need to eat animal products. That might have been his recommendation. That's quite likely. He might have said, do you know what I mean? Truthfully, it's not the mainstream feed.
A lot of science.
Doctors don't recommend vegan diets.
Right,
That's not the mainstream thing.
So one of the comments on a YouTube video was a guy who said, to be fair, if I bust a nut from eating fish, I probably wouldn't be vegan either. And that comes from what people apparently call Salmon Gate.
Yeah.
Of you talking about, you had ate fish the night before, and then had a wet dream that evening. Did you want to share that? Like, where did that fall in the list of things that you wanted to tell people?
I think that's interesting, right? That I didn't ejaculate. Not that I couldn't ejaculate, which some papers have said.
Right.
I didn't. I had a choice. The whole fast, I didn't bust nut. A few weeks after the fast, I was vegan and then I ate the salmon. The first day I ate salmon, that night, I had a wet dream. As a human, something has changed and shifted and switched on. And if I find something interesting, I try to share it, not going, but they're going to take it this way, they're going to jump on that.
Right.
That shouldn't be how I'd filter myself for them.
Right.
To a doctor, that would have been interesting.
Right.
To high schoolers, that's a joke. I knew people would jump on it, but at the same time, I'm not afraid to speak what is interesting to me.
What's that been the most stupid response though?
People thinking that I had a wet dream about fish. Yeah.
That's quite funny.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's like, I think they actually think that. Like to me, that what's exposed itself is the massive mental instability in that community.
Do you think so?
If it was about compassion, this is not the approach they'd take.
For me, there was an element of protection. And I think the anger from the community comes from the person who flew the flag, I guess one of the people that flew it the highest, almost giving the impression to people that they were wrong and it was a lie. And I think so the anger comes from the protection of veganism as a diet. If it is a community, and I think it is, if it's a community of compassion, you can see where the struggle comes of, I want to be compassionate, but also you are almost advocating against something that I really and truly believe in. And you must see that.
Yeah, but that's exactly it. I was there looking around. Oh, I'm holding it down for all of this, but I don't feel that good. You know what I mean?
So that's a pressure in itself.
Yeah, like if I'm the one that these people are going to, and yet if I'm truthful, guys, I don't feel that good anymore. Like, so I have to be honest. We used to agree and now we don't, and they're all hurt. Yeah, they're disappointed. I'm pretty disappointed. But these people, I get it, because they just see the animals suffering and they think it's needless. And I'm not here to say factory farming is okay. Like, we can all agree on that. We don't understand when we're buying from Tesco, like vegetables or something, they're putting rat poison on the outsides of these vegetable patches, and these rats will consume the poison and they die slow 3-day death. They take forests down and then grow the soy plantations. They're killing all the birds, and it's like they don't go, oh, this is going to be a vegan product, so we'll just move this bird's nest very gently over here.
Right.
They just plough it over, they don't care, grow the soy plantations, crop it. Life wants to teach us these lessons, and my time was up for my lesson.
Do you still believe the Earth is flat?
Do you still believe it's round?
The reason why I ask is because you've obviously been in a position where you believe something, which was a vegan diet. And
I believe the Earth was round once as well.
Right, exactly. So do you feel like it's damaging? Do you want to change maybe talking about these things because you've seen what it can be when you talk about something that you firmly believe and then you change your mind? You go through this process and then you don't believe the Earth is flat anymore. Do you have any fear or worry that you're going to go through this again?
Veganism was a massive chapter for me.
Right.
And I'm grateful for it, and then I'm on a new chapter.
Right. If there was something that shows you that a vegan diet made sense 5 years from now, would that be something that you would then go back to?
Yeah, go forward, man. We keep moving forward. Went forward to veganism, forward to meat again, and yeah, if we could go forward, yeah. I just want to make the best choice for my health, for the planet, for the animals.
Right.
Whatever that is, whatever the universe shows me that is. And if I was growing my own garden, my own veg, then that's a way to minimize destruction and be in charge of it. But none of us buying vegan M&S or anything, you can't identify the destruction. So we can't judge each other, we can just do our best. Everything I did, I do not regret doing. I'm so grateful for the journey I've done. It stirs some shit up along the way, so be it.
Thank you.
Amazing. Lovely.